What's up, guys? Frugal BC, and welcome to our live stream. Got a whole slate of stuff for you today, as always. So, welcome to the show. Hope everyone's doing great out there today. And it is not going. Just want to get that going here. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. Of course, we're going to look at the Algorand price and charts as well as the other crypto charts. We're going to look at the ASA charts, and you can imagine what coin is going to come up when we talk ASAs. Take a wild guess. And frankly, that's going to be our lead story today is Pepe coin invading Algorand. That's right. Pepe is all over the place. It's all over the Algorand community because turns out you can bridge Pepe to Algorand, and you can make it operate really, really inexpensively. You can trade and swap it. Imagine that. Algorand allowing trade really low cost trades and swaps. Well, who knew, right? Also, Pepe hit 1 billion market cap after being listed on Binance, and also driving Bitcoin transactions to multi-year highs. So a lot to talk about in the Pepe space. Apparently, I'm becoming a Pepe channel now. Isn't that great? Algorand partnering with OnRamp for blockchain integration in India. That's right. Remember, Algorand still doing like adult stuff, like actual things that matter in crypto. How nice! How nice for that. And the Care Survivor wallet. This is the wallet that was announced at Decipher that will help with disaster relief. That's gone live, so that's a very, very good thing. We've got Amazon launching its own NFT marketplace. Could this be a game changer for crypto? We'll dive into that story. Lots to talk about there. Hedera releases more supply and might explain why it's been down a little bit lately. And last but not least, we're going to look at LimeWire launching its own token, and guess how much I care about this much. But we are going to look at the story. And what is up, Pat? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you on here today. Remember, guys, if you want to support this show, some super chats are always appreciated. If you ever want to do those, I appreciate all of those and give you a big shout out. Otherwise, free ways to support the channel. If you can subscribe, hit the like button. Always appreciate it, and comment as well. We go through this stream, and as we go through this stream, I always like to take comments from people, and I like to answer your questions. If you got questions, ask them. You just got comments, feel free to comment on anything. Always good. We had a really good discussion going in our chat last week, so that was a lot of fun. And be sure to check out the links in the description. There's a lot of stuff in there that can benefit you. Some of it also benefits me, but it will never benefit me at the expense of you. It's all stuff that I think is valuable. I vet it very carefully. Same thing with sponsors. I don't have any sponsors on the channel because I vet them very carefully. So there's very few that I'm interested in working with. And I'm sure we'll see more of those as the channel grows. But I get like sponsorship requests pretty regularly, probably once a week, and they're always like stuff that I just have no interest in. So we're monitoring that very carefully to find something. I want stuff in the Algorand space or the HBAR space. So if you're a project developer and you want to reach out about sponsorships, hit me up through the channel email. And like I said, I do vet them very carefully though. So it's got to be something with a proven track record the project that I believe in. I don't think it's just gambling. Anyway, lots of cool videos we had this week. My Monday one was about Pepe coin, and that blew up, and I had all kinds of people yelling at me about Pepe coin. And then the Algorand space was invaded. We're going to get into that story, but the Algorand space was then invaded by Pepe coin, and it's all I could hear about is Pepe coin. So before I get into the story, I will say that it's good to have something good going on in Algorand, I guess. It's too bad it has to be like a meme coin. It can't be like some actually useful project, but whatever. It is what it is, right? By the way, if you wanna look cool like me, or probably cooler, let's be honest, you can get these Frugal BC hats right in the or t-shirts or whatever you like. They usually appears below the channel. I think there's a little merch store in there, so check that out. And you can probably look better than me in the same hat, so that's always useful. Let's see, not really any other housekeeping. I did release another Algorand DeFi project. Started with Folks Finance, adding that to the roster. Hopefully that'll be a stabilizer, as well as Tiny Man is going on. So if you want to see how those are going, as well as my other portfolio stuff, and I'm expanding it next week, so there's going to be more stuff in it next week. Some non Algorand, non HBAR stuff, and HBAR. I'm going to be tracking that a little closer. So that'll be updated. I had some time this weekend, so I did a little legwork on that. And let's see. Yeah, I had one other video. Oh, and Townstar Godot went live this week, and I was playing that, and it's very, very buggy. You can see my full review on the channel. It's I think they should have released it a month ago, so they had a month to fix bugs, and because they already had a version about it for like 3 months, and I don't know why they just simply didn't. They just kept it to a really small group, and supposedly they were letting people in. I had people say, "Oh, you just contact so and so, and they'll let you in." And I just heard nothing, so I think that probably wasn't true. But I think they did add a couple extra people. But mostly like a week before a test competition, they put it out. There's a ton of bugs. It's not even beta. It's really more of an alpha. I mean, it's so buggy. It's really like an alpha release. So it will be good when it's not buggy, though, I think, because I do like what they did with it. Okay, enough about that. Oh, Pat Hardy said, did make an algo deposit on Folks Finance. Thanks for what happened here. Well, that's weird. Not sure what. Sorry about that, guys. I think you got sound, but the video went out all of a sudden. They make an algo deposit on Folks. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, I know the video's gone. What? I don't know what happened. Let me try switching it. Oh, all right, there it is. It's back. I don't know what happened there, but it's we're back. Yeah, we're here now. You saw the other video. Okay. Thanks, Pat. Oh no, come on, not again. What is going on with this? It's working fine last week. Well, hopefully that stays. I don't know what to do. Now, here we go. Autofocus is back. Well, enough messing around. Let's get to the thing before we lose it here. Yeah, so Pepe coin has pretty much invaded Algorand. It is all over. If you don't know what Pepe coin is, it's a meme coin that was started on the Ethereum blockchain. And it's, for whatever reason, there's always a million coins created every day, but this one really took off. I made a video showing some of the downsides of Pepe coin, and people kind of lost their minds. Now it's on Algorand. So let's take a look at this from Michael Jordan, who is Algo family. He's like the Algorand guy. It says 1 out of every 6,278 Pepe coins that exist on Ethereum have been bridged to Algorand through Messina 1 in the first 24 hours. That's just 24 hours. I assume that number is quite a bit higher now. Algorand instant finality, sub-penny fee, no failed gas, atomic swaps built in the layer 1, can do thousands more smart contracts per second. Yeah. So I think a lot of people, some people are really bullish on this. They're saying, hey, I got all this Pepe coins flowing in here. People will come over and they'll realize, look, I can get I can look at how much cheaper it is in Algorand. I'll tell you what, I don't think they care because I've been seeing people. Oh, come on, again. Hey, what's up, Retro Ooze? I am having problems. I don't know why. It was working fine all last week, and then now suddenly, might help if I. That is going to be really annoying. Thanks, guys, for sticking with me while I have some technical difficulties. Retro Ooze, welcome to the show. We're just having a little technical troubles. Anyway, I was going to point out behind me, you can see the charts here, and not looking so great. So we didn't get any big bump from all that Messina bridging that was supposedly going on. Is it is it really going to be that? I think it's a lot of people in Algorand already porting it over. I don't think that's really bringing people from Pepe Coin into Algorand, but it might be good for visibility. So that's always a possible bonus. So, cross your fingers, right? And there's more to this story. So Pepe Coin was listed on Binance, and it hit 1 billion in market cap. Pepe Coin actually surpassed. We're going to look at the charts in a minute because we can show you this. For a while, Pepe Coin actually surpassed Algorand and a number of other coins. It was in what did it get to? 36, I think. Now, I've heard that there's rumors of a Coinbase listing. I don't know if that's entirely true. We will see. So I guess it's, bottom line is Pepe Coin, there's not a lot of juice to it. It's kind of stupid, but everyone's having fun in a bear market, so maybe it's not so bad. Just don't lose your shirt. Now I'm going to give you a little confession. I actually bought $20 worth of 20 Algorand worth of Pepe Coin, and then I flipped it around to 23 Algorand. So I played around with it a little too. Oh, not again. I don't get what the problem is. Sorry, guys. I'm going to give it one more shot. If it doesn't, I just don't know why it keeps conking out like that. It was working fine before. It's not hot. I wonder if it's that battery. All right, well, if it does it again, I'll go switch the battery and see if that helps. So one more story, and then I promise we'll go back to the charts. Cointelegraph is reporting that Bitcoin transaction fees are at multi-year highs, all because of Pepe Coin. This is really, really interesting. Meme coin hype drives Bitcoin transaction fees to multi-year highs. Bitcoin transaction fees surged in early May, reaching their highest point over the past 2 years, according to data from Crypto Fees. On May 3rd, just checking my video feed, on May 3rd, the total amount of fees paid on the Bitcoin blockchain reached 3.5 million, jumping from 400% from late April. The average Bitcoin transaction fee reached as much as 7.2. I went dead again. 7.2, according to Y Charts. The ongoing trading frenzy of meme coins like Pepe Coin has triggered an unwanted consequence for Bitcoin, driving its transaction cost to multi-year highs. So now, why? The latest increase in Bitcoin transaction fees is primarily attributed to a surge in Bitcoin activity involving BRC20 transactions. According to data from Galaxy Research, 50% of all Bitcoin transactions on May 2nd were related to BRC20 transactions. Interesting. So BRC20 is kind of like Ethereum's ERC20 token standard. It's an experimental token standard allowing users to issue and transfer fungible tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain. Standard was introduced in March 2023 by a pseudonymous on-chain analyst named Domo. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm going to go get that other battery. All right, we'll see if that works. I put a new battery in, so hopefully it pops back on. But yeah, very interesting stuff. All right, it's on. Let's hope it stays that way. Yeah, hard to run a live stream when the stuff just keeps going dead. All right. Well, enough of that. Let's get back to the charts. You know what we're going to find. So Bitcoin's actually down a little bit in the last 7 days. Actually, it's pumping today and then back down a little bit, sitting at just under 29,000. Ethereum at 1,900. It had actually been up above 2,000 before. BNB. Oops. Probably help if I share the screen, wouldn't it? Is it? So Pat says the camera seems to be autofocusing too much. It should be if I move it to movie. That should work better. Hopefully that works and doesn't kill it. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, Bitcoin at just under 29,000, Ethereum at 1,900, and BNB is down. Everything is kind of just down a little on the week. Probably gone kind of even. Solana at down a little bit. Polkadot down a little bit. Tron actually up a little bit. Just trying to see if there's any outliers in the top 40. Internet ICP is way down. Now that had a huge pump recently, so I believe it had like a quite significant jump up. So 13% is still up from where it was not too long ago. Yeah, Hedera said no. Hedera. I was talking about Hedera. We'll talk about the supply later, but as you can see, down 11.5%. It's in the 5 cent range. I actually picked up a little Hedera today, a little extra. Why not? Aptos also down quite a bit. Kronos, Little Dow, Arbitrum, all these hitting like nearly 10% or more than 10%. Yeah, there's a near protocol down almost 10% too, back to $1.76. I believe I'm still up a little on my near, but not very much. I think I bought a lot at $1.71. And then Algorand, Algorand actually isn't down as bad as a lot of the other coins right now. It's down only 3%, but it's been sitting at 17 cents for it just can't get off. It gets off, it gets to 18, almost 20, and then back down to 17. Kind of rough. And sitting at 41, I don't know that we're ever going to be in top 40 again. We'll see. I mean, it looks like by the way, it looks like the battery did the trick because now it's like working just fine. I put it back to movie mode. So apparently you're supposed to start on auto mode. This is the Sony A7mkII. You're supposed to start on auto mode, and then once the video is running, then you're supposed to switch it to movie. That was probably why it was auto focusing because I was a little afraid to switch it. Let's just go right to Vestige, and you know what's going to pop up on the trending. There's your Pepe coin. Actually down 7% right now. It was way up. And you will see it is number 5 right now in TVL. Again, this coin didn't exist like on Algorand for like a few days, and it was this month. Last month the coin, the Ethereum version of the coin was created last month, and then Pepe was created this month. Crazy. So it's already in the top 5. And we'll check market cap too in a minute. I'm curious, but yeah, Chips sitting at number 1. It's actually down a bit on the week, as is DeFi token fell quite a bit. Oculus is down after pumping earlier with its big event that they had. Prestige itself down. Actually, Pepe is like way up on the week, but it's down for like 7 days. Down about 7%, but it really pumped. I did, like I said, I did buy like $20 worth of or 20 algo worth of Pepe just to play around. It went down at first, and I was like, all right, well, if it goes up, cool. If it goes down to nothing, then great. It's 20 algo worth of experiment, I guess. And then it pumped back up, and I was like, cool, I'll cash out, take a profit. So I took a 3 algo profit. It was fun. Nothing terribly consequential. Bank is up on the week. That one's doing pretty good. Yieldy down. Akita Inu up, had a huge jump in kind of the midweek there. Voltcoin going down, and Cosmic Gold dropping some more. They have version 2 out. I didn't even do whatever it was you were supposed to do to get version 2. It's just like at some point it's just like I don't care anymore. Let's see. Actually, Goldman just had quite a big gain. That one's been around a while too. It's always interesting when you see big gains and stuff that's been around a while, including Buttcoin flying up. Maybe it's just meme coin. And supposedly now there's a Gensler coin as well as some other silly coins, but the Gensler one kind of cracks me up. So, you know how I feel about old Gary. Oh, I love Algorand. Oh, wait, it's a security and you should disappear it. Let me see. I want to look at market cap for a second here. Because my theory, yeah, Pepe, number 2 in market cap. It is at a 1.22 billion market cap. This thing existed in May. Okay, Asian reserve currency, by the way, used to always be at the top of this chart. Opulus has been around forever. You know, I have some issues with the project and the way they treated my fellow channel creator, Seawill, but I mean, it's been around for a long time. And Pepe has completely obliterated it. And XUSD is at the top. I don't know if you guys know a lot about that one. I don't know much about it at all. It's kind of interesting to look at what, because market cap, that's like price plus, supply. That's very interesting to see. But yeah, Pepe, number 2 on here. The coin isn't even worth, if it's barely a teeny tiny fraction of a penny. So that's very interesting. Well, apparently the battery was the issue because now it's working just fine. So I don't know what's up with that, but what's up, Don65? Welcome to the show. Pat says, is it meme coin week? And I didn't know. Apparently I didn't know either, but apparently it is meme coin week. It's like meme coin. I think people are just so down about the bear market. They're so sick of like not having good news that this coin pops up and everyone's like, cool, something to do. I'm surprised at how many of my fellow Algorand creators, and I'm not exclusively an Algorand creator, but it's still a lot of the content that I do, are just like going bananas over the stupid meme coin. Like I said, fine, you want to have some fun, play around with a little, play around with a little money on the side just for funsies, for gambling. Fine, go buy your frog coin. It's fine. Let's just not take this thing too seriously. I had people who were like, oh, it went up this much. People are millionaires now, and you're making fun of it. It's like, yeah, because they're not going to stay millionaires long. It's like if you're buying in right now, you're probably someone's exit liquidity, or you're pretty close to it. Like I said, play around with a little bit of money and let it go bananas. Fine, whatever. Take your stab. Don65 says XUSD is over collateralized stablecoin from XBacked. Okay, interesting. Over collateralized, so there's too much collateral. That's interesting. Everyday Algonaut says hello. Hey, what's up, God? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Last time I saw you was when my John Woods interview, when I screwed up the date on that, and then I got to push back. So that's a good reminder that we're about a little over a week out from our John Woods interview. So CTO of Algorand, you'll be coming on next Monday. So not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that, a week from tomorrow, in other words. And we're excited a bit. Don65 says, I just hope it leads to more people use Algorand like a gateway drug. Yeah, and I kind of discussed that earlier when I was talking about Pepe taking over Algorand. I like to think that that's a nice sentiment. I just don't know. I think a lot of the Algorand usage is people already in Algorand who are bridging it over and using it. So maybe, and then I've heard people are getting like kicked out of the streams. They're actually getting booted from this from like Discord channels and stuff for suggesting, hey, you could trade this a lot cheaper if you do it on Algorand instead of Ethereum, but people don't want to hear it. Let's see, Everyday Algorand says the timing is not very good for folks from EU. Well, I'm sorry about that. do you mean the Woods interview, or do you mean this one? I'm guessing you mean this one because it's probably pretty late at night. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Let's see. Pat says, "Will the Woods interview be live?" It'll be live. Yeah, yeah. Mostly because it's just easier for me to do it live. I think. Then they can't make me edit anything. Not that I would. I don't think I would. Midnight. Everyday Algorand says it's midnight right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things about doing these interviews. Like I've interviewed people from Australia and other parts of the world, and it's it's always a challenge. The Australian one's a real challenge because I'm like, I usually have to do it in the morning, and it's really late for them. Or I think lunchtime for them is like late at night. I can't remember. I've done a couple of them from people in Australia, like the Cosmic Champs team, and it's rough. All right, let's look at some nice news. Algorand partners with OnRamp for blockchain integration in India. Now, I remember this being talked about in Decipher. I believe it was. I know the next one. The other one I got coming up about that was announced in Decipher. But this is good news. This is the kind of stuff that why I like Algorand, because they're doing the adult stuff. They're actually solving problems in the world. And yes, the meme coins are fun. I get it. But this is the stuff that matters. This is why I think Algorand will be around a long time. It doesn't mean the price will be like, Algorand's not going to ever be exciting on price. It's just not. I'm afraid there's just no evidence to show that will be the case. But there's good news like this. So let's go India today. We're excited to announce our partnership with OnRamp Money. Together, we aim to simplify access to the Algorand ecosystem in India and further solidify the country's role in the global digital economy. Good stuff. Let's look a little. Let's dig into that a little more. I'll share this tab. OnRamp Algorand to expand India access to financial tools and digital economy. OnRamp Money is apparently a foremost provider to crypto solutions. An Algorand Foundation, along with them, announced the strategic partnership. They always make these so like, it's like, just say what it is. Basically, they're trying to simplify the user experience for people in India who want to get into the digital economy. The partnership provides an effortless and secure gateway to the Algorand ecosystem, allowing users to take advantage of the utility that Algorand provides. By creating this opportunity for new cryptocurrency users in India to engage with burgeoning Algorand DeFi ecosystem, OnRamp.money is further fostering innovation and expanding access to Web3 technology in the region. And they kind of talk about how India is going to surpass China as the most populous country. And I'll tell you what, look through a lot of good things happening in India, okay? Because India not only is growing, is going to be huge, but also a lot of innovation is going to start happening in India. They have very smart people over there, and a lot of companies are looking to get out of China, and India is like the next labor pool for, so Apple is looking really carefully at growing in India and champing down in China because China has so many restrictions. There's so much weird politics that you have to play with the CCP. Much better to go to India. And Pat here says India population is equivalent to 17.7% of the total world population. I didn't have time to fact check that, but I'll believe him. The current population in India is 1.4 billion people. That's a lot of people. Now think about that. Let's say half of them half of them wanted to have Algorand. There'd only be enough Algorand for, a pretty small, they'd have to have like 5, 10 Algorand per person. Imagine if half the Indian population got into Algorand. That's not going to happen, but imagine. So this is why this news is so important, because you're opening up Algorand to a huge population, 1.4 billion people. That's a lot of people. So, like I said, 17.7% of the Earth, of the world's population. That's a lot. Now, I'm a little worried about these on ramp. Yeah, population of other major countries. China, it says Pat. China number one, India number two, and USA number three. Are we really number three? Huh. I guess that makes sense. What about even in Brazil or something like that? They don't have more? I don't spend a lot of time thinking about population, interestingly enough. I didn't realize we had that many people. I mean, I know what do we got, like 300, almost 400 million now? Or is it more now? I don't know. I should track that. I can check. I got Google, right? Let's do some Googling. Yep. Oh, we have 331 million. India has 1.3. According, this is 2020, so it's probably changed. All right, 2023. Yep, India actually surpassed China now by about 1 million. So here, I'll show you what I found here. Let me just share this. I think this stuff is interesting. That's true, but the EU is not one country. But I get your point, everyday Argonaut. Yeah, countries in the world by population. This was 2020. It says 2023 here, but if you see here, it says 2020. China had more than India, and we were at 300. So we're actually quite a ways down. And by 2023, and this is the actual 2023 numbers, India has surpassed China by about 1 million. And then there's us behind all of them at like 339 million. So we're at like, I usually try not to do public math, but about a fourth of them, give or take. So the one thing I worry about with these on ramps is sometimes they are just like crazy expensive. Like I looked into MoonPay because when my algo added MoonPay, I thought, oh cool, you could go right to the source and get your get your Algorand without dealing with the exchanges. However, the fees were like crazy. They were like $3-4 for like $20 worth. So, and I was like, well, I'll just keep using Coinbase because it's so much cheaper. Everyday Algonaut says EU has 447 million. Yeah, so the whole EU, yeah, is bigger than the US, but that includes many separate countries. And I know there's some synergies there. You know, they're part of the union, but I'm happy that Algorand is increasing the activity in India. However, I'm not very happy that the activity in EU is declining. Is it? I didn't know that. I wonder what it's doing in the US too. Very interesting. Let's see. Yeah, the other thing about MoonPay too is they put it behind the screen. That like they never explicitly show you, hey, you're going to be paying, this much in fees. That was really frustrating because I did the video and then people pointed out, hey, you didn't talk about the fees, and that's because they didn't show it to me. And then I was kind of mad that they didn't show it to me because I'm like, hey, I'm a consumer. I want to know how much I'm paying. So speaking of good news, it is the next one. So I know this was announced at Decipher, and this is the Care Survivor wallet, which is a wallet that can be loaded with crypto, given to people in the disaster situation, so they have money, they're ready to go, they can get help. An easy way to help people out. Let's take a look at the story. So we're excited. This is from Nation 2. They're full of good news. We're excited to announce the launch of Care Survivor wallet with all those people. Let's see who that is. Disaster Services Corporation. National National voluntary organizations active in disaster communication, all that stuff. Aid technology, aid tech, and Red Cross. We all know who that is. With funding from Red Cross, this platform uses Algorand to facilitate and expedite delivery of critical goods to families in disaster-stricken areas. That's pretty cool. How it works? Using a mobile app, families verify their identities, receive credits, and redeem them for critical supplies directly from Amazon in as few as 24 hours compared to a traditional end-to-end process that could take up to several months. That is outstanding. I really hope it works that well because that's amazing. From the Red Cross, with the increased frequency and severity of natural disasters, we are not only looking for ways to incrementally improve our ability to respond and recover, but we are investing in breakthrough solutions that could leapfrog current methods. Indeed, we are proud to support this profound solution built on Algorand blockchain and to invest in its further deployment across additional states through our partners. And that is the president of Humanitarian Services at American Red Cross, Trevor Riggin. So, wow, that's amazing. That's really incredible. You want to talk about real world adoption? Now, this is an organization that administers disaster relief. They're not going to enter into something like this lightly. Like, this isn't just a fun game for them. Like, they had to have it proven to them that this would work in a disaster situation. So if they're entering this partnership, that's a big deal. I think that's awesome. Pat says maybe timely to ask for that Algo CMO interview. Yeah, maybe. I got to get through. I got to get through that John Woods interview first because we've been trying to do that for a month. And I don't do a lot of interviews on this channel. Right now, I have a full-time job, and setting up those interviews it's tricky, and it's not my favorite thing to do. It's the reason I stopped doing a podcast because I got really sick of setting up interviews. Because I don't know, modern day people are just really hard to schedule things with. It's like you get a lot of maybe later in the week, and then it's like later in the week. So did you decide anything? No, and then you don't hear from them. And that wasn't the case with John Woods, by the way. That was he did reschedule once, but the initial screw up was my fault. Now this one's going to get people riled up, but Amazon is launching its own NFT marketplace. Is this a good thing or maybe not so good a thing? Well, let's just take a look at the news first, and let's read all about it here. Amazon is launching its NFT marketplace in 12 days and is huge for Web3. Everything you need to know and why you should care about it. Oops. Apparently, he never actually did the thread. Is that the joke? I don't know. For some reason, I remember there being more to that, but I think that's the joke of it, that it's not an actual thread, maybe. Here's a story from Blockworks. This is from March. That Amazon. Oops, let me share this. It says Amazon NFT marketplace could feature Beeple pudgy penguins. Oh, you darn pop-ups. Yeah, by the way, Beeple is originally born in the state that I am in. He's an interesting guy. I don't know if you heard his Joe Rogan interview. It was very interesting. Let's see. So Amazon is putting the finishing touches to its in-house NFT initiative, according to sources directly familiar with the matter. And at least one document suggests that Amazon is set to feature digital collectibles from top crypto native creators, including Beeple and Pudgy Penguins. The Amazon NFT marketplace will run in a private and permissioned blockchain controlled by the e-commerce giant, according to a confidential terms of service agreement reviewed by Blockworks. Yeah, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this. I think I've talked about this on the stream before, but there's a lot of companies that are operating on private blockchains right now. So there has been a lot of adoption of the blockchain technology, and I think some of the ones, I think one of the reasons that Hedera is so attractive to some of these companies is I think they've proven that they have a platform that can be really useful to them. But it's interesting that a lot of them, yeah, a lot of them are using blockchain for inventory because it's like you can't double count something because everything has its own cryptographic signature. Anyway, a separate confidential Amazon deck reviewed by Blockworks confirmed the private blockchain, adding that Amazon Web Services has been a major contributor to its formation. Another document could be confirmed as presenting the most current version of Amazon's plans. Yeah, you never know. Blockworks exclusively reported the formation of the initiative in January, as well as additional developments on March 3rd, including the build-out of a private blockchain. Sources say Amazon has shifted its launch timeline several times, and an exact unveil date could not be verified. So I have very, very mixed feelings about this private block, this NFT marketplace. Like, certainly, it's going to drive people into crypto that otherwise didn't. As far as the marketplace itself, it'll be interesting because it's going to be on their own blockchain. Well, what does that mean? How is it going to interact with other blockchains? Will I be able to buy a crypto penguin or a pudgy penguin on Amazon and then send it to my private wallet? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing they're going to want to keep that. Let's see. Pat says, please show me one person who's made any money on NFTs. Yeah, I think they exist. I don't think they're numerous, and I certainly don't know anybody personally who's made any money on NFTs. I think they're fun, but are they that fun? I don't know. I don't. I fully admit I don't get NFTs, to be honest. I appreciate the art based one. I love what Dale Forward is doing with his algo gods. I mean, those are just beautiful. I think they're fun. I bought the chess one just because I liked it. I just thought it was cool, right? But I saw it as like supporting an artist. I didn't see it as an investment. I doubt I'll ever sell it. Maureen Denny, I don't know if I've mentioned her on the show. She's doing like some really cool one-off arts too. But the whole profile picture ones, your pudgy penguins and your crypto punks and Bored Ape yacht clubs. I don't get any of that. But yeah, I think people lose a lot of money in crypto because they spend a lot of money on. I think they just spend a lot of money on their NFTs. But if you've made money on an NFT, leave a comment below. Everyday Algonaut says at Aramid we have public private algo sidechain as well. That's cool. Right on. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this develops. Eventually, apparently their digital collectibles would be gasless and read only. So I don't know. the people who really love NFTs are probably not going to be buying on this, and I think they know that. This is going to be for the people who are kind of a little afraid of blockchain and they want kind of the nerfed version, and they're going to go with this. And that's fine. I don't know if I wonder if you'll be able to sell them on there as well. That'll be interesting. Okay, I think I only got one left. Oh no, two. So Hedera has released much more supply into the ecosystem, and you remember how earlier in the charts we talked about how the price is down a little bit. This might be why. Let's just take a look at what we got here. How much did they release? Just in, Hedera has released an additional 55,468,628 tokens from their maximum supply, bringing the total amount of released tokens to 6260. So we're at like 62. Actually, I don't think that has a lot to do with the price. That's a pretty small amount. For some reason, I remember that being a lot more than that. But yeah, we're at over halfway of supply. Algorand, of course, is much higher than that. It's somewhere in the high sevens. So something like 78% is out now. I got it to Hedera. There were approximately 3 billion coins released. I never complained about them dumping on us all at the time. I get that they need funds to finance this whole ecosystem, but now we are reaching a point where they can't continue at this rate. Well, at some point, it disappears, and then the price should start shooting up a little bit. Let's see, war games and chaotic organizations neglecting these essential concepts and displaying a negative attitude towards decisions like these demonstrate a fundamental misunderstanding of Hedera's journey to the top. Is that to the original creator? Because all that person did is just say what happened. That's really weird. Just trying to see if there's any interesting comments here. HBAR is a long-term play. Well, they should all be pretty much long-term plays except your meme coins. Worst price action in this whole space, hands down. Have you met Algorand? I think HBAR has been doing better than Algorand. If you look at the percentages, not today though. Today Algorand's the winner, so good for them. Good for them. I guess everyone thinks it's worse. Everyday Algonaut says we are already at block 620, 6,203,181. Nice, nice. Very cool. All right, and the last one, save the worst for last. LimeWire has released its own token, and you know what? I couldn't care less because I'll talk about that more in a second. Let's just look at the news. The LimeWire token public sale is live. You can purchase LimeWire LMWR. Yeah, could they not get Lime? Is Lime already something else? Someone had commented on that. So if you like an RT the post, you could win 1,000 LimeWire. 10 winners picked on May 9th. That's today. Probably too late for that. Nope, it's only the 7th. You got a couple days yet. This one says, not working for me. Oops. Please hard refresh. People are talking they can't submit a hash ID. A lot of people just saying they can't purchase it. Oops. But here's what's really funny now. So when LimeWire first launched, there was a big thing about how they were an Algorand project, right? Everything was going to be on Algorand, and the first coins that the first NFTs that they launched were exclusively on Ethereum. What a kick in the face! You believe that? And I checked out the website when it went live. I just wasn't impressed. I didn't see anything I was interested in. It just didn't look good. It wasn't good. And now that when they released this coin, none of the payment options, they had payment options in just about every other crypto except Algo. And then someone's like, hey, aren't you supposed to be an Algorand project? Why don't you have Algo as an option? They're like, oh, the third-party developers said we can't or something. And so then someone connected them with John Woods over Twitter, and then they worked it out, and now they offer Algo. And then it was kind of funny when Michael Jordan tweeted about LimeWire and saying, yeah, and of course they take payments in Algo. And I'm like, no, not of course. They almost didn't if it wasn't for people intervening and saying, hey, you got to do this, and some last minute stuff about getting John Woods involved at the 0 hour. I just thought that was really funny. LimeWire, what a disappointment. Why don't we take a look at this? We got a little time yet. Let me just pull up there. Oh, seriously? They don't even have a link to their website? So I just went to their Twitter account and they don't even have a link on their website. And by the way, I used to use LimeWire a lot back in the day, allegedly. So they got like a traditional login, not a sign up, not a crypto login. Allowing artists through ownership. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can become a creator or a fan. I mean, it's not a terrible looking site. I think there's a lot of rappers on here. So if you're into rap, that's cool. If you have subscribers, you can get revenue. Was Tyler Durden on there really? Is he? I don't know. Maybe he is. Really, it's for podcasters, athletes, influencers, graphic designers, videographers, writers. A way to get paid. Huh, very interesting. So it looks a lot different than it did when I first was on here. It might be worth exploring again. But I just don't like the way they've been doing that. Hey, look at Shelby Grosh in that. There's a guy I haven't spoken to in a while. How you doing, buddy? Shelby was the very first person I interviewed on this channel, and he's an Algorand guy too. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so this is my camera that I use for photography, and I tried a couple times to see if I could get it to work for video, and I know as far as like hooking it up through the computer and everything, and then finally I saw a video where there's like two or three things you have to do. It's just little like tweaks that you have to do to get it working. So now I've got it hooked up, and I'm doing my videos this way. I'm doing my live stream with it. And yeah, it's I was so pleased when it came on. But hey, good to hear from you, man. Let's see. Well, the only other thing I was going to talk about today, yeah. So to finish my thoughts on LimeWire first, put a cap on that. The problem with LimeWire that I had was that I just don't like the way they did business. They made this big partnership with Algorand, and then Algorand was like no part of their platform, and it was all on Ethereum. That really bothered me. And then just recently, when they have this LimeWire sale, they sell their LimeWire token, and Algo still isn't an option payment. A bunch of other cryptos are, and finally they added it at the last minute. And so good, I'm glad they fixed it. But it's like they just don't seem very dedicated to Algorand. So that's a little bit of a frustration for me. Yeah, so that's most of the show. The only thing I want to talk about, so there's a game on Polygon called Hunters on Chain that I've been playing a little bit, and I've been playing the demo version, and it's pretty fun. But then I found out that the tokenized version has gone live, and you're supposed to be able to play. You're supposed to be actually earn this token every day. So I thought, well, that might be a fun little experiment, and maybe I can do a video on this. I cannot link up my wallets. I created the sequence wallet like they tell you to. I tried to follow everything online I could see. I even went into the Discord and asked questions, and was asking those guys about like, hey, how do I do this? And they made me put in a support ticket. He just kept telling me the same. The guy who put in the support ticket just kept telling me the same instructions. I'm like, dude, I see the instructions. I'm telling you, it's not working. He was telling me to log into both of the sequence wallets accounts, and I'm like, I can't log into both. It tells me to log into one, and if I log into the other, it tells me to log out of the one to log into the other. So if you want to be bullish about Algorand, this is why. It's because when you do stuff on other blockchains, you run into this nonsense where it just doesn't work. I've had the same problem with Gods Unchained, where there was like there was like 8 steps to this process, and I got to step 4, and it told me I couldn't complete the step because I hadn't completed the step. It's like you're like in this loop, it's like you can't press the A button because you haven't pressed the A button. You know what I'm saying? It's like well, I can't ever do that then. um so even though I get down on Algorand sometimes, like you got to admit like the stuff works so much better than these other blockchains, and I don't get how people manage to use them. They always befuddle me. I always run into some big snag where I just don't run into that on Algorand, and that's why I came to Algorand in the first place, because the stuff actually worked. So that's my little rant today, guys. Stay safe out there. And I've been telling you, man, and Shelby appreciate this. I've been telling you, like, index funds are your friends, man. I think a lot of your money should be in index funds. This crypto stuff should be around the edges. It's fun. It's low. It's low down. If you put in a small amount of money, it's low downside, but it's high upside because the stuff can pump like crazy, and you can make really good money. But you can also lose your shirt. So you want to you want to keep your investment fairly small in crypto compared to your main portfolio. I know a lot of people don't talk about that, or don't they don't appreciate that. They don't put that info out. I was talking to Crypto Rain, and he was kind of razzing me about like getting more money into crypto. And I do think now is a time to put a little more into crypto. So I'm probably putting a little higher percentage than I used to, but definitely still, I've got like a big steady chunk of, it's like my aircraft carrier. So my index funds are like my aircraft carrier, and my crypto stuff, that's like my little fighter planes that can go do cool stuff. But if they get blown up, like the aircraft carrier is still going to chug along and be safe, and that's really hard to sink. That's the way I look at it. So that being said, crypto is fun. Well, if you want to play around with Pepe coin, fine. Just remember that it's like basically gambling. Just treat it like the casino. Put in the money that you're really not afraid to lose, and otherwise, be safe out there, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy times in crypto, and not your keys, not your crypto. Get your stuff off of exchanges as much as possible. Ledger for the maximum safety. And as always, I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.